the atom. O hidden light, shining in every creature. O hidden love, embracing all in oneness. May each who feels himself as one with thee know he is also one with every other. Om Shanti. Brothers and sisters, we welcome you all in the Shankar Lodge Saturday evening today. We are privileged that Professor C.A. Shinde from Adyar is present with us and will share his thoughts on the important topic, the way of service and sacrifice. Though we all know about Shinde ji, still it is customary to tell that the C.A. Shinde, for those members who are not knowing about him, that he was retired as zoology professor who worked at Sangli and Pune for 37 years. He is author of 10 textbooks in zoology for undergraduate students. He has been a life member of Theosophical Society and rendering his service to Theosophical Society since 1975. In Marathi Theosophical Federation, he has also served as president for 2 terms. He has conducted seminars, schools of wisdom, workers training camp, study classes at various places throughout India as a national lecturer of Indian section. His many articles are published in the Theosophists, Wake Up India, Theosophical Digest, the Indian Theosophist, and many other Federation journals. He has given many short talks and participated in international symposiums during convention at Adyar. He has compiled the Watchtower articles of Mrs. Radha S. Bernier, which is published as book titled The World Around Us. Now he is resident of Adyar with his wife and working as the director of the Adyar Librarian Research Center, and also worked as head of the Department of Editorial Office. He is secretary of Olcott Memorial High School and also participating in various activities of the Theosophical Society and ES at the Adyar. He is also General Council member and Executive Council member. Beside all this, he is an international speaker who has visited Sri Lanka and Proton. Now, without taking any more time, now I request Professor Shinde to please share his thoughts with us on this important topic, the way of service and sacrifice. Professor Shinde.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
And also visible properly?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I am not satisfied with this anyway. Okay. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Thanks to Delhi Theosophical Federation for inviting me and to share some thoughts on this special day. Today is the 23rd April, which is known as the World Book Day. And I thought, why not this World Book Day can be celebrated with the some thoughts on our own book of life. See, when we think on our own book of life, it indicates the path. Your life itself is the path. You are the path. And it teaches us the way of service and sacrifice. This is what I want to share my thoughts on this topic, service and sacrifice. Once Krishnamurti asked us, can we stay at our own home as a guest? Try to be in our own home as a guest. It has a deeper meaning and also good exercise to practice. No doubt, it reduces our possessiveness, attachment with the things, attachment with the men and children. One realizes that everything is temporary, everything is changing. It is only with such practice we can step forward to realize that human body is also a rented house. As a guest, our soul is in this house.
शिंदे जी
The
एक
house
मिनट
of
डिस्टर्ब करूं क्या?
हाँ
शिंदे जी आपका थोड़ा सा हॉरिजॉन्टल ये आ रहा है, वर्टिकल नहीं आ रहा, तो थोड़ा सा टेढ़ा कर सकते हैं एक बार?
हॉरिजॉन्टल आ रहा है क्या?
हाँ यस, हाँ अब ठीक हो गया, बस अब तो थोड़ा सा फेस ऊपर कर लीजिए। हाँ
फेस
थोड़ा सा, हाँ
करने से आता है क्या? नहीं,
अब उल्टा हो गया पूरा, अब उल्टा।
ओके। वो क्या है, मैंने चार्जिंग रखा हूँ इसलिए
अच्छा अब
वो
ठीक है, अब
बेस
ठीक हो गया, अब ठीक है,
ठीक हो गया वो, लेकिन बेस में 1 मिनट
आप कर लीजिए ठीक कर।
नहीं, इसमें नहीं बैठता वो चार्जिंग निकालता हूँ, ठीक है। ठीक है अभी?
हाँ अभी ठीक है, थोड़ा सा नीचे कर लीजिए, फेस अभी जरा सा ऊपर आधा आ रहा है। अब ठीक, बिल्कुल ठीक, बिल्कुल थोड़ा सा और नीचे नीचे।
ये अच्छा नहीं
बस
है, नहीं इसका स्टैंड नहीं
ठीक है,
है।
बिल्कुल अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा, देख
सब
लीजिए अभी थोड़ा
इसका स्टैंड नहीं है इसलिए वो
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा,
एनीवे। हाँ अभी हो गया।
हाँ हाँ ठीक है, बिल्कुल ठीक है, ओके। हाँ नाउ ये स्टार्ट।
नाउ इज ऑल राइट, ओके। With such practice, we can step forward to realize that human body is a rented house and our soul is living in this rented house, personality as a guest. So every morning will be a new one, and whatever unexpected visitors like joy, depression, meanness, some momentary flashes of intuition, all these we must practice to welcome these unexpected visitors and treat them with kindness. Kindness is very important. Kindness in our attitude, kindness in our expression, kindness in our look, kindness in our touch, and so on. All these are the services to oneself. And this includes sacrifice. Lot of sacrifice it includes. It is not enough to say, but when we express all such things, lot of energy we employ, lot of focus we employ, so that our dark thoughts, evil feelings, we be able to meet them and just be with them, laughing at them. Thus we can be grateful for whoever comes. It is only because each one has been sent as guide from beyond. This is the reality. Each one has been sent as guide from beyond. So it is light on the path, it is said. Everybody is your teacher. Nobody is enemy. So be grateful and show kindness. That is what we must begin with. Also, we can be with the nature spirits or devas which are surrounding us, and especially at some places, they are more powerful. I may say places like banyan tree at Adyar has a Devic power. It has already recognized as a sacred tree. The society is almost outside identified as Alamaram society. That is banyan tree society. So even the places like flowing Adyar river, where Krishnamurti was discovered, and particularly the island which forms in the Adyar river, all these places are said to be more powerful. Powerful because at such places we can discover ourselves, that in our own ambitious behavior, in our own drives, in our own competition, in our own power and position, sacrifice is evident. We sacrifice a lot of energy, but the difference is we sacrifice not for others, but for ourselves. So the life includes this sacrifice, but that must be for the others. In the same way, our service is also evident when we show love, compassion, brotherly relations, cooperation, affectionately working with a team spirit. All these are real service. They are definitely recognized by the higher beings, and such kind of real service is not new to the soul, because our soul is evolved from doing this or treading this path of service and sacrifice through mineral kingdom to plant kingdom, from plant kingdom to animal kingdom, from animal kingdom to human kingdom, and now it is treading from human kingdom to the divine kingdom. So soul has this journey which we study in Theosophical teaching. The soul within is immortal. It is our spiritual part. Soul is our essence, our moral and emotional fiber, our warmth, and most importantly, our force. It is the vital part of us. And this is that soul transcends our temporary existence. So, soul is our nobleness within. In true sense, we are souls with bodies and not bodies with the souls. Souls seeking a human experience. This is very important. Our souls are seeking human experience and not humans seeking a spiritual experience. So we need not seek, but soul will seek through experience. It learns through experience. So what must be our path? When we say, let our work be worship, let our work be selfless, let our work be offering, and let in this way our work be a real sacrifice or self-surrender. It is only then we will be able to reject that which is false, rejecting violence, rejecting comparison and competition. It is only then we begin to celebrate the state of grace, harmony, cooperation. We maintain our own divine dignity because we begin to share and revering all life. So the first PPT, Rajivji, you can show.
Just a minute. Chala.
Yes. See, this is a simple one. Usually I used to send through messages also. If you look at this, when a million things can bring you down, find one reason to keep you up. So there are many things which are bringing us down, like fear, doubt, failures, society limitations, then reactions and people's relationship. All these they are pulling us down, bringing us down. And when we focus our attention on the journey of the soul, if that become our dream, that become our purpose, which Master knows. Master knows the purpose and therefore he serves. We don't know the purpose, therefore we don't be able to serve properly. So soul knows its journey, that the purpose of life is union, purpose of life is tasmat yogi bhava, and therefore the path is service and sacrifice. Next slide. If you see, this is a typical sculpture. I have given a caption here, soul and personality. And when we see the male and female polarities, female polarity is passive, male polarity is active. So active is personality, passive is soul. And life is nothing but the balance. Holding on, balance of what? Holding on and letting go, balance. Listening to everyone and learning from everyone. Third, why these two, holding on and letting go, balance is required? Why listening to everyone and learning from everyone is required? Because nobody knows everything. But everyone knows something. That means everyone has got uniqueness. Everyone has got some purpose for existence. Everyone has got something to share. So the way is you yourself. So learn the art of knowing what is it that you can share with the others. What is it that you can ignore? What is it you can let go? What is it you can hold on? And what is it you can listen? Listening is very essential. It is better to listen. It is better to listen means when we listen, we become patient, humble, And that humbleness gives to the, rather, takes us to the temple of wisdom. So service and sacrifice, what Theosophy preaches the way to serve means to love. We all know love is the most important qualification. We will make this qualification strong within us, then automatically we will be able to acquire other qualifications that are needed to treat the path of spirituality. The qualification of discrimination, desirelessness, and good conduct. Why one serves? Why one wish to serve? Because there is an innate will of that soul to be one with the God. God is love. So this is very important. Why did soul want to serve? The soul is longing for the union, but it is entangled in the personality, in the matter. But it is longing for that union. Tasmat yogi bhava. This is what there is an innate will of soul. That innate will is to be one with the God. And what is God? God is love. So for service, it is always, soul is always watching for opportunity. Opportunity to help on one hand, and opportunity not to hurt on the other hand. That is the innate will of the soul. Soul is longing for that. So when we think of service and sacrifice, these are like two parts of day and night. Day is positive force, Shiva Shakti. Night is negative force. So balance is required. Balance is essential. Chinese believes in this, these two forces. They call it as the yin and yang. Yin is the female, passive, negative. Yang is the masculine, active, positive. They are based on principles of balance and interdependence. They are unified system. Their energy rules the world. So also in human constitution, the soul is yin. You think of it. The soul is yin, passive, and personality is yang, active. But remember, though soul linked and ideally aligned with the personality, it is definitely different from the personality. Soul is permanent, personality is temporary. So temporary should be sacrificed to meet the permanent one. So this is what in the voice of the silence it is clearly stated. The self of matter cannot meet the self of the spirit. So one must be subdued to attain this cosmic rhythm or cosmic balance. So participation in the cosmic rhythm needs to be our real service. Participation in the process of cosmic evolution or cosmic mutation, psychic mutation is the next step of evolution. Now there is no evolution in the form, but there is revolution in our psyche. In biological evolution, the end product is the human form. So the next phase of mutation is at the psychic level. And one has to participate through purifying and keeping the cosmic balance, keeping the cosmic rhythm. When the rhythm of man's daily life his rhythm of relationship with his body, mind complex, with the material objects around him, when that relationship is in harmony with the cosmic rhythm, when the breathing is in harmony with the cosmic rhythm, then the perception is unveiled perception, is a virgin, pure perception, not covered up by man-made or individualized mind, but in its existential purity and virginity, the seeing energy functions, which means we begin to see clearly. And it is only then when we begin to see clearly, there is no choice, there will be a choiceless awareness, and then there is an authentic human race. Yoga is creating an authentic human race. And human culture also, out of this biological human form, is possible. This, in other words, we say human regeneration, etc. I would like to narrate a story here, which is really inspiring. You might have heard it. A man married a beautiful girl. He loved her very much. Once she developed a skin disease, and that skin disease slowly lost her beauty. It so happened that one day her husband left for a tour, and while returning, he had an accident. In the accident, he damaged his eyes and lost his eyesight. However, their married life continued as usual. But as days passed, she lost her beauty gradually. But his blind husband did not notice it, and therefore there was no difference in their happy married life. He continued to love her, and she also loved him very much. And one day, his wife slipped from the staircases and died by head injury. Her death brought him great sorrow. He finished all her last rites and wanted to leave the town. A man from behind called him and said, "Now how will you be able to walk alone, all alone? All the days your wife used to help you." And then what this husband replied is really inspiring. The husband replied, "I am not blind. I just pretended to be blind, because if she knew I could see her ugliness, it would have been pained her more than her disease. So I pretended to be blind this whole time." She was a very good wife. I only wanted to keep her happy. Sometimes it is good for us to act blind and ignore one another's shortcomings in order to be happy. Ignoring the little harsh things in life can make your life easier. So the human soul is sick, and soul sick must heal themselves through inner conviction, purification of mind through truthfulness, purification of intellect through true knowledge, and purification of the soul through duty consciousness, that is service mindedness. This is what we have to learn. So what is the world view now, if you look at, we can see physics studies matter, biology studies vital bodies, psychology and philosophy addresses the mind, theology studies the soul and its relationship to God, and mysticism studies the formless Godhead or pure emptiness, the radical experience or spirit beyond even God and the soul. So all these faculties they are studying because it is the World Book Day today. So what is the world view today? They are definitely going deeper and deeper with this aspect, and such has been the dominant worldview in one variation or another for most of humankind's history. It is the backbone of the perennial philosophy. The nearly unite, these are the time on this earth until that is the rise of modernity, the West. So this perennial philosophy we were studying, and one more slide we can focus now because we have been studying this. Yes, this slide is something we can see. It is a personality and all that. We can see how it is related outside and inside. Outside we can see infinity, celestial, intermediate, and terrestrial. And inside, when we go, body, mind, soul, spirit. So these are the levels of reality, levels of selfhood is shown in one right side figure. And in the left side figure, we are showing each level of reality has a different architecture. I am focused this. When we are studying our own book of life, we can see each level has its different architecture. And when we focus our attention on each level, you have to know what that level is and for what it is there. On the lower level, you can see the vital animal body includes matter in its makeup, but it also adds sensations, feelings, and emotions which are not found in the rocks. While the human mind includes bodily emotions in its makeup, it also adds higher cognition faculties such as reason and logic, which are not found in plants or other animals. And while the soul includes the mind in its makeup, it also adds even higher cognitions and affects such as archetypal illumination and vision, which is not found in the rational mind, and so on. In short, each higher level possesses the essential features of the lower. That is what it is shown, A plus B, A plus D, like that. But then adds the elements not found on those level. Each higher level that is transcends but includes its juniors. And this means that each level of reality has a different architect to, so to speak. So once we understand this, A plus B, A plus B plus C, A plus B plus C, D, and E, like this, then we can understand the biology, psychology, theology, mysticism, and how these are connected with our life, mind, soul, spirit. So all these just I am giving. And next slide, we speak about the great sacrifice of the Buddha, that even after attaining Buddhahood, he selected the path of service rather than nirvana. After his illumination, he came back to teach his law. Lord Gautam Buddha is the first of mankind who got qualified himself the ability to teach his brother men. The work was done and nobly done. We know something of the various incarnations that he took after that as Bodhisattva of his time. He appeared as Vyasa. He came as Hermes in Egypt, the father of all wisdom, first of the 29 Zoroastrian religions of the all these. He walked almost among the Greeks as Orpheus and taught them music and of song. He took his last in north of India and wandered up and down the Ganges valley for drawing round himself his old pupils. So the Vishnu Purana also, there are 28 Vyasas in history who appeared in each of the 28 world ages. Even in Vithala in Pandharpur, it is said, 28 yuge, 28 number is given, 28 Vyasas in history. So Vyasa is an incarnation of second Lokas or Vishnu, who divided the Vedas into 4 in each age, like Golden Age, Satya Yuga. That time, 100% virtuous people were there in Golden Age. And therefore, they were given Rig Veda, which is theory. Then 25% of virtues reduced in Silver Age, and only 75% virtues remained. And therefore, Silver Age, that is Treta Yuga, Samaveda is given, that is practice. Then again, 25% reduced in the Bronze Age, that is Dwapar Yuga, and Yajurveda was given, which is nothing but action. And again 25% reduced, and only 25% remain now in this Kali Yuga. And the Atharva Veda is given, where defects are pointed out. And you see, in 100% virtues were there, theory was given, and Valmiki was born as Rishi, and he wrote very good scriptures. Then in Silver Age, what Yajurveda is, Samveda is for practice. And who practiced this? Practice of service and sacrifice. So in Samveda, Hanuman practiced. Hanuman was there. Sorry, in Rigveda, Valmiki, and for practice in Samveda is Hanuman, and in Yajurveda, action, that Ramayana happened. And in Atharvaveda, defects are found. So here again, Mahabharata, all these, they happen. So Vyasa gave Vedas, Krishna practiced, Arjuna action, and output is Mahabharata. So this is what I want to say. All of them, they sacrificed for the upliftment of the whole humanity. So next slide shows, if we desire to blossom like a rose in the garden, we must learn the art of adjusting with the thorns. And one more, Krishnamurti, you can, this is again balance, yin and yang. Next slide you can show. Krishnamurti standing. This one. Krishnamurti gives practical hint to practice. He asks to educate ourselves to be alone, free from all psychological or egoistic bars of prison in which we are caught. All humanity is caught. So he asks to sit under a tree or touch your back. That is what he is doing. He has touched his back to trunk of a big tree, and he has asked to look towards the sky through leaves and branches of the tree and get the feeling that you are not alone, but you are with the tree looking at the sky. So looking at tree and seeing through tree, the beauty of the sky are two different dimensions of consciousness. And he says, we are not educated to be alone. We are not educated to be alone and observing silently, quietly. Even we are not educated to observe a falling leaf. Look at that falling leaf, how enthusiastically and beautifully it falls on the ground, perhaps with full of gratitude and love towards the parental tree, which it served through its honest duty of photosynthesis. So this is what we have to practice. The next slide I am showing, it is again about the, this you can see, this is a different presentation, but it shows personality and individuality. We are comparing with the tree ourselves. When we are meditating, touching our trunk to the tree trunk and looking through the tree, just imagine that you are a full tree. Root, trunk, branches and buds are nothing but personality. Then leaves, blossoms and fruits of the tree are nothing but individuality. So when we meditate like this, and if we raise, each level has got its architecture. So you can raise yourself and communicate with the soul within. And this personality is not different from the soul also. Because roots, trunk and branches are not different from the leaves, blossom and fruit. The thing is, we are not looking totally. We are separating again positive and negative poles, yin and yang, but they are in cosmic rhythm, cosmic harmony. That is what I want to show in this. I think I am exceeding the time, sir. राजीव जी,
आप अभी अभी चल सकते हैं, अभी 16 मिनट्स है अभी.
Very good, very good, very good. Because I am making hurry. It is important fact. One more slide you can focus. That of Theosophical Society is a cornerstone. All right, this is Rama. Okay, next you can take. This one is very important. I am focusing because Theosophical Society must play a role of cornerstone. These two slides are there. This is the separate side. Here, what is the role of cornerstone? That brings two walls together, which are at right angle and separate. And here caption is given on one line, one wall, just do nothing. That means different. And in the second wall it is written, it is impossible. So on one wall it is written, just do nothing. On the other it is impossible. If you bring these two walls together and connect, what happens? You see in the next slide it is shown. Yeah, just do it. Nothing is impossible. See, the whole meaning is changed. When we look at the personality from the point of view of individuality, the whole life will change. This is what the cornerstone role of Theosophical Society. I am focusing this because it is a fact that Rama and Krishna were not Hindus, and they have not founded Hindu religion either. Similarly, the founder of any other religion was not belonging to that religion at all. Jesus founded Christianity, but he was not born in Christian family. Prophet Muhammad founded Islam, but he himself was not born in Muslim family. Buddha founded Buddhism, but he was not born in Buddhist family. Guru Nanak founded Sikhism, but he was not born in Sikh religion. It is then easy to derive from all this information, because all of them have contributed in reviving the consciousness of humanity and helped humanity as the messenger of the same eternal God. So, Muhammad is not for Muslim alone, he is for each human being. Jesus' consciousness is not a property of followers of Christianity alone. Rama and Krishna are not role models for Hindus alone. And what we should be looked at is all 10 gurus of Sikhism, all 24 Tirthankars of Jainism, or Gautam Buddha, Abraham, Moses, Adam, Mother Mary, have preached that God is one and only one. Still we have started worshipping many gods and deities. It is hard to believe that Allah, God, Bhagwan, Ishwar, Paramatma, and all other names that we have given to Almighty are different beings in heaven. And if they are not different beings, then why should a Muslim be different from a Hindu? Why a Christian is different from Jews? Why can't we all set these adjectives and just become human beings and realize the citizens of this planet Earth? So yesterday we have celebrated Earth Day. Today we are celebrating the Book Day. What we can study is this: through the path of service and sacrifice, irrespective of distinctions and differences, we must come together, work together. And when we understand Rama is our soul, Sita is our heart, and Ravana is our mind. And this mind is very corrupt. Mind is the slayer of the real. And it steals our heart from our soul. So we must be particular about this Ravana, which is mind, with awareness is Lakshmana, and develop intuitive faculty and strength, that is Hanumana. That is what Ramayana we can look at. And finally, I will end up with some. I think, Raju, you give me 2 more minutes. So when I say mind is a beautiful servant, but a dangerous master, here again we come. Soul is longing for union. So yoga is our way. The 8 limbs of yoga. One more chart you can show here. This is wonderful chart again. 8 limbs of yoga. Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. Why I am giving this slide? Because look at this. Yama is opposite to Pratyahara. Yama is above and down is Pratyahara. So if you look, Niyama is opposite to Dharana. Pranayama is opposite to Samadhi. And Asana is opposite to Dhyana. So these have something meaning. When we have such a circle, and when we say the 8 limbs of yoga, so the union, I am concentrating on the Yama, Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya. These are the Yama, avoided, should be avoided. For what? Pratyahara. Pratyahara itself is getting detached. So Pratyahara is withdrawing oneself from the sense objects for inner tuning. What does this mean? Is it not a kind of subtle sacrifice of pleasure? When the object exists, they are there around us, but in this Pratyahara, sacrifice comes. You see them, but you do not look at them. This is again a kind of withdrawing, sacrifice. You see them, but you do not look at them. You hear the sounds, but you don't listen. You are surrounded by human beings, but you don't touch them by psychologically as well as physically, motivations like likes and dislikes. You are surrounded by them, but they are not existent to you. You are not running away or trying to escape or isolate yourself. See the beauty of such pratyahara. See the beauty of such a kind of highest sacrifice at highest level. So there is non-alienation, non-escape at the physical level, which is a marvelous thing that Yoga Sutra gives to us. When there is chittavritti nirodha, there is an emptiness, there is a kind of peace. But in the same way, at the physical level, on the organic level, pratyahara leads to the kind of steady peace that leads to dharana. So once you learn this, I think the way which we are treading, the way of sacrifice and service, leads to that yoga. Well, thank you very much for listening, but I will end with the Hindi because R.K. Mathur, they have written, the lecture is both in Hindi and in English. So in Hindi, I would like to say something. When we say tapaswadhyaya ishwar pranidhanani, these are the steps. Tapaswadhyaya ishwar pranidhanani. So all these steps, finally we must merge into the universal consciousness, Ishvara Pranidhanani, and the way is altruistic way, paropakara, and Hindi में मैं अभी बोलता हूं, दूसरों का दुखड़ा दूर करने वाले तेरा दुख कौन दूर करेगा? राम दूर करेगा। आप भलाई का काम करते जाना, फिर भी तेरा दुख दूर करेगा राम। सो ईश्वर प्रणिधानानि, दिस इज द पाथ ऑफ ट्रुथ। सत्य का ये पाथ है, धर्म का मार्ग है। राम भरोसे रहना, राम संभल संभल आपको चलना होगा, क्योंकि पग पग पर यहाँ ट्रायल्स, कसौटी है, कदम कदम पे सेक्रीफाइस है। मगर तू डरना नहीं, तेरी सब पीड़ा वो राम दूम करेगा। क्या तूने पाया, क्या तूने खोया, क्या तेरा लाभ है, क्या हानि, इसका हिसाब राम करेगा। तू क्यों फिक्र करेगा प्राणी? तू बस अपना काम किया जा, तेरा भंडार भरेगा राम। So if you really have belief in that Rama is the soul. If you really have belief in your soul, soul is fully potent, and this potentiality itself fulfills your all aspirations. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I don't know how far I could satisfy you, but it is what I want to share today. Thank you very much, Raju ji. Very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Shinde ji, for very inspiring and illuminating talk in simple words, encompassing plethora of wisdom from Theosophy. We are sorry that you could not join from your laptop today due to some problem.
Yeah.
We do not know why. We are also thankful to all participants who have joined today. Now, if anybody have any question, please ask by unmuting yourself.
One question arises. Ravan is our mind. Can you elaborate this?
Ravan is?
Mind.
Yeah. Yes, really, mind is both. It is bad servant also and it is good also. So Ravan was both. He is a Ishwar Bhakta, actually. But if we look at it, it is the mind is the slayer of the real. So
Yes.
if you look, so that is good to have such kind of concept and go through it.
Thank you.
Anybody else? किसी ने कुछ और कहना है? किसी को कुछ कहना है या कोई क्वेश्चन है तो प्लीज करें.
शिंदे सर.
हाँ, नमस्कार. नमस्कार ना.
नमस्ते. खूप छान झालं भाषण. एकदम एनलाइटिंग स्पीच होतं सर.
हो, धन्यवाद.
Can I speak?
Yes, 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 Aban.
बोलिए बोलिए अमन जी.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Acha. You have saying that Christ was not born in Christianity. Similarly, Muhammad was not born in Muslim. Similarly, I would like to add, Zarathustra was also not born in Zoroastrianism. It was a Mazdayasni din.
Yes, yes.
But since he was known as Zoroaster by Greeks, the word Zoroastrianism has come in. This is, I just wanted to add.
Correct. Thank you. Thank you.
It was a very enlightening talk. And I have another thing to tell. From selfness, we can go to selflessness. And from selflessness, to selfless.
Oh,
Isn't it?
even
First,
that.
we are very selfish, but as we come to know and as the wisdom comes into us, we become selflessness. And we work for others, we give service. And lastly, when we have to be one with God, we are selfless.
Yes.
Correct?
There,
Thank you very much.
when you become one with the God, there is no self.
No self. Yeah. Yeah. There is selflessness afterwards. You are selfless. You are only soul, spirit.
Yes.
Anyway,
Universal.
this is only just my thinking. When I was hearing you, I started in my mind that this would be correlating with talk.
Very good.
Thank you very much, sir.
थैंक
It was very nice being
थैंक यू शिंदे जी। और
Thank
किसी
you.
ने कुछ ऐड करना है तो बताएं, नहीं तो हम लोग क्लोज
नमस्कार,
करेंगे।
नमस्कार राजीव जी।
हाँ हाँ
शिंदे साहब
सुषमा जी
नमस्कार।
बताएं।
सुषमा जी नमस्ते।
बहुत अच्छा, नमस्कार नमस्कार शिंदे साहब, बहुत अच्छा आपका व्याख्यान था। और शुरू में जो आपने कहा वो बात बहुत मुझे टच कर गई कि हम किसी के चेहरे पे मुस्कुराहट ला दें, किसी का स्पर्श कर दें, किसी को ऊंचा उठा दें, तो उस पर मुझे याद आया कि हम जो भी छोटे छोटे काम करते हैं वो हम उसको समझते हैं कि हमने बहुत बड़ा काम किया, लेकिन वास्तव में इस पृथ्वी पर अपने होने का भुगतान करते हैं। एक कोटेशन मुझे याद आया, द सर्विस वी रेंडर टू अदर्स इज रियली द रेंट वी पे फॉर आवर रूम ऑन दिस अर्थ। जो कुछ भी हम सर्विस करते हैं तो वो हम इस पृथ्वी पर अपने होने का किराया भुगतान करते हैं। जैसे आपने कहा ना कि ये हमारा बॉडी जो है वो रेंटेड हाउस है, सोल उसमें रहती है, तो हम इस पृथ्वी पर अपने होने का किराया भुगतान करते हैं। और दूसरी बात मुझे याद आई कि गांधी जी ने कहा था, द प्लेटफॉर्म ऑफ सर्विस इज एज बिग एज द वर्ल्ड एंड इट इज नेवर ओवर क्राउडेड। इतने एस्पेक्ट हैं सर्विस के कि कभी भी इस संसार में वो सेवा करने में वो प्लेटफॉर्म कभी ओवर क्राउडेड नहीं होता। और अंत में मैं एक शेर से बात याद करूंगी कि वो तेरे दर्द का इंसानियत का दर्द बन जाना, वो तेरे दर्द का इंसानियत का दर्द बन जाना, खुशा वो जख्म अच्छा है जो दुखता जाता है। वहाँ मतलब कहना है कि यदि तुम दूसरों का दर्द नहीं महसूस करोगे तो तुम में वो ह्यूमैनिटी नहीं है, इंसानियत नहीं है, तो वो तेरे दर्द का इंसानियत का दर्द बन जाना, यानी तुम सेल्फ पेन के लिए मत जो है वो देखो, तुम ह्यूमैनिटी के दर्द को देखो। तो खुशा वो जख्म अच्छा है जो दुखता जाता है, यानी वो जख्म दुखता रहे तभी हम ह्यूमैनिटी के लिए सर्विस करेंगे, तभी हम में वो कंपैशन, वो सिंपैथी, वो एम्पैथी, जैसे कोऑपरेशन, सिंपैथी, एम्पैथी एंड कंपैशन, तो ये एक लैडर है, तो तब हम जो है वो कंपैशन तक पहुंचेंगे। और फिर मुझे एक बात याद आई कि जो इस खुदा ने, इस ईश्वर ने सृष्टि का निर्माण करा वो भी आउट ऑफ कंपैशन किया है। वो कहता है एको अहम बहुश्याम, मैं एक से अनेक हो जाऊं, उसे क्या जरूरत थी अनेक होने की, वो तो अपने आप में सेल्फ सफिशिएंट था। तो ये उसका सेक्रीफाइस है। जब ईश्वर सेक्रीफाइस करता है तो हमारे लिए तो सेक्रीफाइस के लिए बहुत प्लेटफॉर्म है। जब आपकी बात सुनते हैं तो बात याद आता है, आप इतने डिफरेंट डायमेंशन से वो चीजें बताते हैं कि वो सब जब एक्यूमुलेट होती हैं तो वो रिवाइव भी होती है चीजें, फिर उस पर पॉन्डर ओवर भी करते हैं, फिर एसिमिलेट भी करते हैं और कुछ कुछ प्रैक्टिस करने की भी कोशिश करते हैं। धन्यवाद बहुत बहुत।
सुषमा जी, और एक आपसे मुझे याद आया
जी
कि आपने बोला हम सेवा करने से हम रेंट देते हैं,
जी
सिर्फ रेंट नहीं देते,
जी
कर्ज भी दे देते हैं।
जी हाँ, बिल्कुल 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 सही कह रहे हैं, कर्ज भी देते हैं।
कर्ज भी
बहुत
चुकता
बहुत
करते हैं।
धन्यवाद राजीव जी मौका देने के लिए, और शिंदे साहब को बहुत
थैंक यू
बहुत
वेरी
धन्यवाद।
मच, आपके आने से अच्छा लगता है। नमस्कार शिंदे जी, बहुत अच्छे तरीके से आप सबको बहुत अच्छे से समझाया आपने। और किसी ने कुछ कहना है?
हाँ, मैं शीतल बोले।
हाँ 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 बोलिए शीतल जी।
शिंदे साहब जी को भी नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
जैसे कि सुषमा जी ने कहा कि आप एक नई डायमेंशन से देखने के लिए कहते हैं, तो वो स्टार्टिंग में जो आपने कहा कि सोल और बॉडी का रिलेशन, तो उससे वही समझा कि हाँ हमें भी, यानी मुझे भी आज ऐसा लगा कि अच्छा दूसरी तरफ से भी हमने देखना चाहिए, दूसरे की नज़र से अगर हम देखते हैं तो दूसरे की नज़र में हम क्या है वो भी समझ में आता है, ऐसा ही है। और आप जो मेडिटेशन भेजते हैं तो आपने आज जो उसको बताया उससे ऐसा लगता है कि रोज़ मैं मेडिटेशन देखती हूँ आपका, लेकिन वो सोचने का तरीका आप ही बता सकते हैं। तो मेडिटेशन के साथ आप थोड़ा सा 2 लाइन भी लिख दिया कीजिए, तो उसमें से सोचने की एक दिशा मिलेगी। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
ठीक है, धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू गोले जी, थैंक यू शिंदे जी।
थैंक यू।
अगर और किसी का कोई क्वेश्चन नहीं या कोई किसी ने बोलना नहीं है तो हम लोग इसको क्लोज करेंगे। हमारी नेक्स्ट मीटिंग 30 अप्रैल को नहीं होगी क्योंकि डॉक्टर राजीव गुप्ता और हम दोनों ही लोग अवेलेबल नहीं हैं, चांस की बात है। तो हमारी नेक्स्ट मीटिंग अब 7 मई को होगी, जिसमें डॉक्टर राजीव गुप्ता लेंगे एस्ट्रल प्लेन एंड एस्ट्रल बॉडी, मे बी कंक्लूडिंग या लास्ट पार्ट या लास्ट बट वन पार्ट होगा। तो 7 मई को हमारा नेक्स्ट मीटिंग होगी। थैंक यू। अब हम लोग प्रेयर करेंगे, क्लोज करेंगे। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, न कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ओम शांति शांति।